Broadcasting live from atop the Rocky Mountains, the crossroads of the West. You are listening to the Liberty Roundtable Radio Talk Show.
All right, judge apologizing to assassins. It's very weird as a national story, I can tell you that. I don't support any mistreatment to anybody, anytime, anywhere, by the way, but I am saying it's very, very strange indeed. Trump says 8647 prime means kill President Trump. Now, I don't know if you have to say the prime part or if you can just say 8647. This whole thing is very, very strange. What do you think? If somebody uses that term, are they really saying kill President Trump, Sheriff?
It means get rid of. So it certainly could be taken as that.
Or does it mean get him out of office?
It could mean that. Like I say, get rid of. Get rid of the president.
If I say take him out, take Fauci out, am I really talking about wanting to kill the guy, or am I just saying, hey, take this guy out of society and put him in jail? Or, what I mean is we've gone too far with this stuff, Sheriff.
Well, we have a chapter about going too far in our new book, and I didn't include this one. Neither did my co-author. In police work, in law enforcement, in military, if you 86 something, it's as close to saying that.
It's kind of like deep six, right?
Yeah. It is. It could certainly be construed as that, but this is the thing. Was there follow-up evidence? Just putting seashells in the sand and put 8647, first of all, it was stupid. Secondly, does it mean I want to murder someone, or am I threatening to murder someone? If I say I wish my enemy would go away. I wish all my enemies would just die. Does that mean I'm threatening to kill them? And I don't think so. And so I've never suggested that. Even once, sometime, where I was really fighting with Sarah Brady during my lawsuit against the Clinton administration on the Brady bill, which was named for her husband, who I absolutely had total respect for and still do, God rest his soul. And then she came down with cancer, and I said, I really hope that she can beat cancer, but I hope her cause gets cancer. So I still did not wish her an early death or anything like that, but to her cause of gun control, I did. So I just, even someone like that who I thought was really out of line called me a bunch of names. I still wouldn't say 86. Yeah, 86 Sarah Brady. No.
Well, so let's ask this next question. When people went to Donald Trump's rallies and they're like, Donald's like, get him out of here. Kick the crap out of him. Get him out of here. Is he really saying to deep six him? To 86, whatever?
No.
I don't think he is. I don't think so one bit. But that's my point, is that when do people say those kinds of things? And very rarely, and I'm going to say very rarely, does it really mean murder. Very rarely does it really mean what someone's saying. When you say 8647 prime, do you have to add the prime or it doesn't count? I mean, where do you go? Deep six. Hey man, deep six this person's candidacy. Does that mean take him out? Or does take him out mean kill him? And we better be very careful when we start using these words. So if I say 8647, wow, now Sam wants to kill. I guess it also means the Donald. We create these definitions, and then we want to say Sam can't do that. Alex Jones can't believe that the Sandy Hook thing was a fraud, and people are going to be fined millions and shut down, and you're an enemy of the state, and this and that. And we're going way too far. And do I think there's bad guys out there? Yes, there are. But do I think everybody that uses this 8647? No. I think what happens is people use it because they say, that's my way to fire back against Donald Trump, and I don't feel like I have any other good way to do that, right? I mean, isn't that what we're talking about, really?
It could. Yeah, it could. But again, according to their reports, is that they spent a year investigating this, and they found other evidence where there was some criminal intent in what Comey had to say. So, first of all, if you're a former
Yeah, but we're not going to prosecute. Hold on, we're not going to prosecute Comey for anything. He's all good.
What do you mean? They've already indicted him. They've indicted.
He's not going to do any good.
Well, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. But
I mean, you think that the guy's going to the clink? You think he's going to get the J6 treatment in jail and stuff?
Do you think they're going to 86 him?
I pray not.
No.
But I don't think they're going to even have accountability for him, really.
But it goes even further than that. Of all the people that are corrupt in Washington D.C., we're actually going after Comey. Okay, I would put Comey about 567 on the list of people that need to be arrested and prosecuted in Washington D.C. for corruption. And I would really like to see this aimed at Tim Walz and Newsom and any place else in the states where the fraud is now reasonably reaching over $1 trillion of taxpayer dollars. And so, I don't want to pay to any more taxes as long as I know that the fraud is going to continue and
they're not going to stop any fraud.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If they're too busy apologizing to Cole Allen, Donald Trump's too busy telling everybody that everybody's trying to get him. No, I agree. There are people trying to get him, but look, have we got any answers on any of those people that have attacked Donald? Pennsylvania. Do we have any answers whatsoever on that?
No, I don't think we do.
So, Donald Trump promised we were going to get rid of gun-free zones first day. Remember?
I actually don't remember that, but you would think that would be a good idea. But obviously they're a farce and don't really matter. But again,
I think Trump needs to apologize to all of us then for not getting rid of gun-free zones on the first day. I mean, if we're going to have judges apologizing to assassins and stuff, then somebody needs to apologize to me for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Don't you think? What have I done?
Just try to stand for liberty as much as you can. But other than that, But
all right, the U.S. military. Now, they claim there's a ceasefire. Donald says don't have to worry about the 60-day thing, Congress, because we've got a ceasefire going on. But the headline says this: the U.S. military battles Iran over the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. military says that it fought Iranian forces, sank 6 small boats as it worked to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. So I guess they say that the UAE also reported that Iran fired missiles and drones its way. So how do we have a ceasefire with that going on, Sheriff? I just don't understand what a ceasefire means anymore. You can't define the word is, can you?
No, but at the same time, the Strait of Hormuz needs to be opened up and needs to be free for travel and navigation. And so
why do we care?
Because it's worldwide effect on oil price. Yeah, it is.
If we produce our own, if we produce our own oil and use our own oil, what does it have to do with us? It doesn't need to make the price go up.
Well, it's a worldwide economy that we're also helping here. And why the United Nations? It says the United Nations is running out of money. Why isn't the UN doing something?
Well, constitutionally, there's no obligation for us to deal with the Strait of Hormuz whatsoever. In fact, there's prohibition against it.
No, true. Very true.
We don't have anything to do with that.
And we just ignore that.
We don't even need it for our oil, right?
And we just ignore it that the greatest terrorist organization in the world is going to have nuclear weapons. So just let it all go.
Well, I don't know that Iran's the greatest terrorist organization in the world either. I mean, are they worse than North Korea and China?
Yeah.
Or are they made possible by those groups?
Very likely, because I think
made
China
possible by those groups. So if China makes it possible, who's worse, China or Iran?
Probably pretty equal.
if I'm only can be the worst guy in the world if you help me be that guy,
well,
then aren't you
perhaps
that guy too if you're China?
Well, perhaps. But at the same time, the history of Iran being in charge of a lot of terrorism and the number one actor on terrorism, they've been doing that way before China got involved in some of this stuff. But human rights abuses, Russia and China, yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, anyway, I just find that interesting. How does Iran always stay on the edge of having nukes? How does that happen? Answer: money from our supposed friends and partners. That's how. And money really from us through the back door. All right, hold on. Sheriff Mack with me, everybody.
Are you watching what's happening in our country and asking, what can I do? Join the John Birch Society in Salt Lake City, June 6th, for a powerful one-day conference. The day includes a host of respected speakers, 2 meals, and meaningful connections. You'll gain clarity on the issues and walk away with practical steps you can take to your community. Reserve your seat today at jbs.org/SLC26. That's jbs.org/SLC26.
The Foundation for Moral Law is a nonprofit legal foundation committed to protecting our unalienable right to publicly acknowledge God. The Foundation for Moral Law exists to restore the knowledge of God in law and government and to acknowledge and defend the truth that man is endowed with rights not by our fellow man, but by God. The Foundation maintains a twofold focus. First, litigation within state and federal courts. Second, education, conducting seminars to teach the necessity and importance of acknowledging God in law and government. How can you help? Please make a tax-deductible contribution, allowing Foundation attorneys to continue the fight. You may also purchase various Foundation products as well at morallaw.org. Located in Montgomery, Alabama, the Foundation for Moral Law is a nonprofit, tax-exempt 501c3 founded by Judge Roy Moore. Please partner with us to achieve this important mission. morallaw.org.
All right, it's Sam Bushman and Sheriff Richard Mack back with you live, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm just telling you, I don't know what a ceasefire even means. We're like firing and people are firing and then we got a ceasefire, but everybody's breaking it. And I don't even really understand what that means. Here's what I do know. I think we're experiencing 5th generation warfare as Michael Flynn says, General Michael Flynn. It's the battle for the mind, folks, where nations, bad actors, and institutions use media, technology, cyber attacks, and psychological influence to dictate, to manipulate, to shape what you think, believe. They divide society, they weaken a nation without even firing a shot. I really think that's what's going on, Sheriff, and I don't think we know the truth about Iran, about China, about North Korea. Internationally, I don't think we know much. Why do I say that? Because we don't know much about anything. On the assassination attempts on Donald, we don't know. Charlie Kirk, we don't know. JFK, we don't know. Whether we went to the moon, we don't know. I mean, I can just keep going right on down. 9/11, we don't really know. Oklahoma City bombing, we don't really know. Anytime we do find out a little tidbit, no one goes to prison or jail. Lon Horiuchi running around free. The J6 people got released, and thank heavens for that, but no really accountability on the government side, even though we were promised. And so I just think that we're being played in 5th generation warfare, even by our own government and even by Donald Trump.
I think that Trump has, I think that he's withdrawn a little bit because, first of all, he's expecting to be impeached again by 2027.
Well, if it do something serious and make sure we win in the midterms, that wouldn't happen. You got to do something for real, though. You got to actually do something that we can point at as a success. And right now we don't have anything.
Well, obviously, I thought he did some real good things the first year. I think it's like amazing.
Name one that hasn't been reversed or stopped or stalled or whatever.
Freeing all the J6ers, that's one. And there's been some little problems with that. And he freed Sheriff Scott Jenkins, which I worked on for 7 months. And I didn't think it was going to happen, but And Trump really showed some compassion there, and I really appreciated it big time. But right now, the Republicans don't seem to be really attacking the Democrats where they're most vulnerable. We are in our book. We are in our book. And yes, we're taking the approach that both Republicans and Democrats have political problems and political corruption, but that the Democrats, and I've said this lots of times, the Democrats are 10 times worse. And Republicans keep trying to act like Democrats. But the problem is that we are having a communist takeover by the Democrats. That's really the bottom line problem here. And is the Republican Party and is the president doing enough to expose that and to stop it? And
No.
right now, the biggest threats to him and you and me have been put out there that they're going to impeach President Trump as soon as they win the 2026 elections. How they could ever win this for the horrible damage that they've been doing to our country is beyond me, and beyond me why the Republicans aren't really focusing on all of that big time. You know, and so just alone that they're trying to destroy female sports, women and girls who dedicate their lives to that. The Democrats do not care because they want transgenders to be protected. And it doesn't mean they don't care if they destroy sports. That right there should be enough to sink the Democrat vote, but it's not happening. And I'm amazed and flabbergasted by it. And again, over and over and over, Washington warned us against a two-party system or a party system, and he's looking very prophetic in his farewell address to America, where he exposed his true thoughts about that. And it's so spot on, Sam. And we're including that in our book. The farewell address by Washington to the country. And we're even translating to make sure that you could use that people can understand his Old English language, and some of it was difficult to understand. So we're even translating that by someone else who actually already did that, and we're just quoting that. But it's extremely powerful, and it's there, and everyone should be very concerned about what Washington told us. But how could we ever stop the Democrats and Republicans doing what they're doing? They own government. They own it. They have the ownership of government. The only way we could do that is if people started a referendum against it. And
you're right about that. But again, I don't see anybody defending us or anybody protecting us or anybody apologizing to us. We need to go and testify against the Southern Poverty Law Center, against the IREHR. These people have been really promoting hate and advocating, hate in the country and everything else. And we now know who done it. But yet they're not going to have any prosecution either, I don't think. Comey,
Sam,
and Clinton, and the SPLC, they won't have any retribution or repercussions.
Well, they got enough money to where they pay the fines, and I doubt if they're going to go to jail, so they'll pay their fines and then they'll start another big fundraiser for themselves. But Sam, they have lied about who you are. They have lied about who I am, intentionally trying to destroy the work that we do and that the people that we are. Destroying that. Which just blows my mind. And for one reason, Sam, so that they could use us to scare their donors into raising more money, giving them more money. And they used it on our backs, yours and mine and many others. Rand Paul, Ron Paul, Judge Napolitano.
Can we do a class action?
Boy, well,
maybe
I don't know.
Maybe you should get a hold of Judge Napolitano and ask him. Maybe Matt Staver, fighting the Southern Poverty Law Center, and a few people could help us. But we need a class action lawsuits against these clowns, don't we?
Maybe, but for slander and libel, it's 1 year. 1 year.
All right. So they've already passed, and so there's no accountability. Like I say, there's never any accountability in America unless it's me and you.
But you and I should testify against them, and I think that would really help, because they did the same to you and me as they did to what they're being indicted for. And so yes, that I have never committed an act of violence in all my years in law enforcement or any place else. and yet I'm on the top 40 terrorist list, domestic terrorist on SPLC. Let them, in that court of law, prove that I am a domestic terrorist. And they won't be able to do it, and you know that. And they won't be able to do it against you when they called you the nexus of terrorism and violence.
Nexus of hate and anti-government. Yeah, but you know what? Here's what they'll do. They'll just be like, hey, you're a famous figure, and we can say whatever we want.
Well, that's already been said about me. But yeah, that's it. Yeah. But the thing of it is, Sam, their opinion is going to have to be backed up by something legit. And they can't do it for either one of us.
I know. So, anyway, I don't know how to solve this or what needs to be done.
I want us both to testify, and I'm gonna look into that.
All right. Talk to Judge Napolitano. That's the starting spot. Maybe Judge Deneen Pirro can help us. Maybe Tom Holman can help us. Somebody help me. Donald Jr., you're going to do The Apprentice. Maybe you can help us, buddy. Maybe Junior. Yeah. Somebody somewhere help me.
Fire somebody. Yeah.
I'm just telling you, though, it's amazing. We hear these flashes in the pan about all these criminal activity and actions and everything else, but then it just goes away and nothing happens. Trump promised, and even Kash Patel now promised, hey, you're going to see all this stuff about election fraud coming out. Have you seen anything, really?
No. So, yeah, and I'm still hoping, but it just seems to be Washington D.C. as usual. And
when does hope turn into hopium, Sheriff? You're just smoking hopium is all you're doing there, buddy.
Well, but you and I are both eternal optimists, and I'm still hoping for some things there.
I am, but I'm afraid you and I might be facing jail coming up pretty quick.
Well, yeah, as soon as they get Kamala Harris as president or some of these others, they've already promised to go after us.
I know. What I'm saying is that
I don't know if you and I will be on top of the list for that or where we line up, but they're coming after us. There's no question. They're revenge people. They are revenge people. And so, but the likelihood of them coming after me and Perkins or Perkins and me on this book
just increased exponentially.
Yeah, exactly. We even put in the book, if we accidentally fall down an elevator shaft, that's in the book. Then you can know. But one of the 12 scientists that just came up missing and murdered, she said the same thing. So.
Yeah, but we're not really going to look into that, are we? I mean, the FBI is working on it now. But see, the FBI won't get anything done. They won't look into anything until it's too late. Then the FBI will be controlled by the Democrats again. So who's going to win in the Democratic field in midterms? Are we going to have a change and lose the Senate and the House? And then what's going to happen in 28?
I think we lose both of them. I think we lose both of them because just like the song from Jordan Page, the pendulum swings from the left to the right and right to the left. And we, the American people, seem to be just lost in this hypnosis of looking things going back and forth. And it just looks like we don't know what's going on. And Jefferson warned us that an educated and dedicated people are the best thing to save freedom. And the American people are so dumbed down by everything going on that we just kind of shrug and go, what's the use?
Well, if Donald wants to win the midterms, all he's got to do is give everybody a free Netflix, 1 month free of Netflix or something, and everybody will be good.
Or free phones, like Obama.
I'm just saying, folks, this is disaster. They better stand up and do something. Try abolishing the IRS or the FDA, or make gun-free zones gone first day. Do something significant. Come on, Donald. We love you, buddy. We need your support. For Sheriff Richard Mack, CSPOA.org, I'm Sam Bushman. LibertyRoundTable.com, LibertyNewsRadio.com. That's the radio side. We're available on YouTube, Rumble, X, Truth Social. We're everywhere, baby. Spread the word, share the love, join the posse, CSPOA.org, and God save the Republic of the United States of America.